Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hardly even Irish.
You're wearing a lot of green. And you're also eating green.
Yeah, I bought these just for today.
Today, oh, okay, you don't want to be part of this. That's fine. Today is finally the day.
Today is finally St. Patrick's Day.
That's not what is important here. Today is finally the day that the truck puts down some power. Hey.
Yeah, that's right.
Woo! We're actually not taking the bus and the trailer. We're gonna drive the truck home tonight if everything goes to plan. So that's why Pasha is driving me to the Dino Sesh.
I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I'm really pumped. 9 months ago, June 7th, 2018, was when I announced the drift truck project. Make more power. There she is, looking all nice and clean. So before we get it on the dyno, we have to do a couple of things. Number one, we're gonna do a bolt check, make sure everything's tight. This is the first time that this engine's gonna be loaded up and, you know, a bunch of power is gonna be going through this drivetrain, so we wanna make sure everything's tight. And then we also have to drain the 87 octane out of the fuel tank and then add 93 octane. We're gonna go run to the gas station, get some 93 octane. In the future, this thing will be on E85, but baby steps. Horsepower.
Uh-oh. Look out.
Yeah, shift the trans back and forth.
Wow, that pushed really easy. Alright.
Alright, now try it.
Caleb's never driven stick, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright. It's hard to drive when it...
Big oof.
Just like, not smashed.
Well, 87's out of the tank. We're gonna put some 93 and we're gonna make some power.
You guys are so good at working together. Such teamwork here.
Oh yeah, every day.
93 octane's in the tank. Bolts are checked. She's as ready as she'll ever be.
Because it's a B2200.
Alright, truck's on the dyno. Posh, you wanna go first with
No.
Dino Predictions?
Okay, my thoughts are.
Wait. This 1UZ VVTi is out of Aristo. Makes 300 horsepower crank and like 300 foot-pounds crank, I believe. We're gonna have a tune, headers, exhaust, intake. Mike's dyno reads similar to a Mustang dyno, so that's something to be considered. I'm guessing 288 horsepower, 292 pound-feet.
I said 265 wheel.
Oof.
I'm just gonna stick with my yesterday's prediction and gonna say 270.
We're all very similar.
240.
Oh, no.
No!
I really want to make 300 wheel, so that means if it makes 270 wheel on this dyno, it's about 300 wheel.
The way that this dyno is, the way that Dynocom does their stuff, is this is basically like lab equipment, but they don't care about what any other kind of dyno reads, so they're not worried about making it match like a dyno jet or a Mustang. It's just like,
It's
as
more-
long as it's accurate as hell and repeatable, that's all they cared about when they made it.
What about torque?
Torque, I think you're gonna be like 260, yeah.
Okay. Mike, do you want to like kind of explain like the process of tuning a vehicle on a dyno?
Do you want the fancy explanation or the real one? The real explanation is I'm gonna adjust things up and down based on what the readings are until it does what it's supposed to do.
Okay. he was kind of going through the rev range, I looked at the headers, and underneath the heat wrap, you can see the headers are like red hot.
Yeah, it's reading off right now. I gotta check something.
Okay.
There's no way you made
19,000 horsepower. Hell yeah.
19,000.
That's 7,400 RPMs right now, and they said we can even rev it higher. Everything with the truck is working really well though. Intake temps are good, and coolant temps are staying right at 190. So fans working, thermostats working, all that's working really well. No leaks, so it's just going really well besides the dyno. So it turns out the truck was actually running on 7 cylinders. This entire time it was running on 7 cylinders, so we didn't even realize that. It revved to 7,400 on 7 cylinders. So we're gonna go pick up a coil pack right now. So freaking bright, I'm sorry. If you guys were ever wondering what a 7-cylinder V8 sounds like, or V7, that's what it sounds like.
Fuck the police.
Oh, you're going through the do not enter. Goods acquired, $90 later. There's one really big issue. We tested every single coil pack and they all check out. There's one that we can't get out and test, which is that back one. So what we did is we unplugged it while it's running and then you plugged it back in and there was no change in the sound. So what that means is that that last coil pack is bad. So when we were dynoing it earlier, it was running on 6 cylinders, which is crazy. The big problem is that in order to fix that coil pack, either A, the motor has to come out, or B, the cab has to come off the frame, which is, both things are a lot of work. It's probably easier to take the cab off, but what are the chances out of all the coil packs happens to be the one that you can't reach? We might be able to get the brake booster out. The problem is that the suspension I made is really close to the brake booster. We'll see though, so I don't know. We're trying to snake the brake booster out. We found another place with a coil pack in stock, so just maybe. I don't want to get my hopes up yet. I will say, this thing sounded mean running on 6 cylinders, so I'm really excited to hear it on 8. Hopefully. It's close though.
Ram chargers. So, what did we learn today?
Don't take the chances and actually change the coil packs that you know you can't change when the thing's together. No, it's not going in. So even with everything disconnected, this thing can't come out. We might have to dent the brake booster a little bit.
I had a mini panic attack.
I don't look like I take drugs.
Oh no.
So close.
It's an 1/8.
Yeah, it's an 1/8 of an inch. So we're gonna lop some of that off.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit. Mike's got the Widowmaker there.
It's Operation Cylinder 8.
So it's 100% Operation
The
Cylinder
lost
8.
cylinder.
Who wants to do the honors?
She's free.
Oh no, oh no, yeah! The 8th cylinder! Oh, it sounds so much smoother now. Hell yeah. Right, well, now that the V8 is running on all 8 cylinders, Dyno Day is back in business, so we're gonna keep tuning it.
Jared, you were like
260,
spot on for the
260.
baseline.
This is for the viewers. Now we're gonna dick with timing and be able to adjust that.
Alright.
Now we're just getting the fueling right.
3 more horsepower with some fuel adjustments. Yeah.
Just right here where it's a little bit too rich.
Pretty good power curve. It drops off a little bit towards the top, but not much.
Yeah, that's why I held out longer here was because we fixed the fuel.
I see. Little bit of an update. They were messing around with the variable intake runner lengths. Now the solenoid on the manifold is actually broken, so it can't automatically do it. We just did a dyno test where we held the runners closed manually below 3,000. We gained, listen to this, 60 foot-pounds of torque. No, just on the low end. But that's like where it really matters. As soon as I get this back, I'm gonna fix that solenoid and then we can actually program that in. But for now, we can't.
The last 3 pulls we've added timing progressively and it's not really picked much up. I honestly don't think it's worth having it in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've gotten the fueling right. I think the next step is to just get the intake manifold working right and then go from there. The next step, obviously, like you said, you're gonna do the E85 and what have you. That'll work out well, but once the intake manifold works, that's something that we can actually dial in this a lot more and we can actually pick up a lot of power and torque everywhere.
Yeah.
But kind of being locked where we're at, it's honestly kind of limited.
Mike's gonna go ahead and clean up the tune and then we can be out of here. Next step is to fix that intake solenoid and to get a flex fuel sensor so we can make more power.
That's pretty quick.
That got through the gears really fast. So that's it for the first dyno session. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do, and we can come back and unlock a bunch of horsepower. Oh. Hell yeah.
Can I hop in with you?
Yeah.
Do you want me to film it?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
We're gonna turn around up here and go the other way.
It's very quick.
Yeah.
It's very quick. I was not expecting. I was like sitting here like, oh shit.
That smells like brakes.
freezing.
You guys see what I see? Drift truck made it home last night. We had a couple issues right before we left with the throttle position sensor, so we got that fixed, and I drove it home. It was really fun. It was really nice. But as I was pulling into the parking lot, it broke down. Pretty sure the clutch master cylinder just gave way. When I pushed the clutch in, it didn't disengage, and it stayed pushed down. And it was sketchy because I was in first gear trying to go through the parking lot, and I just kept going. But yeah, guys, the drift truck is done. It's dynoed, but there's already some things we have to fix before we can rip it. I have to fix that intake valve. I have to get new tires because the tires are indeed flat spotted. If you noticed on the dyno, the truck was kind of doing that. It's because the tires were flat spotted. What? You guys are, oh my God, they made a mess. You shit in the litter box, not on my desk. Oh my God. I'm having a great morning, as you can tell. No, fuck off. And then the other thing we have to fix is the clutch master cylinder. So since those tires are bald spotted, I can destroy them. That's what I'm gonna do. It is really good at burnouts. It spins first, second, and sometimes third, but it's an open diff right now, so. 260 horsepower, 260 foot-pounds of torque. Once we fix those things, we can easily get 300 to 300. So that's gonna be awesome. The mid-range and the low range are gonna be so much better once we fix the intake valve. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to give it a like. If you didn't enjoy, please make sure to give it a dislike. Let me know your thoughts. It sounds so much better running in 8 cylinders, by the way. It's so smooth and awesome. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. So peace out, goodbye.